DaVonte, Coach mentioned that he was happy to see you guys kind of grind out a tough victory like this, but with the way things transpired in the second half and you kind of blowing that lead a little bit, were you more happy or just frustrated with the way it kind of went down like that?
I wouldn't say happy or frustrated. I mean, it's just basketball. I mean, you don't expect the team to lay down, and they didn't, and they fought back, but I think it shows the growth over the year that we can sustain a lead and hold on to it and win again.
Yeah. DaVonte, not a great night outside the arc for you, 2 for 12, but you hit 14 of 17 free throws. Can you talk about not being able to get it done in one respect, but still finding a way to put up 28 points?
If you would have said I hit 28 points, you would have think it would have been all threes. But it was just the rule change, a whole bunch of things, my teammates finding me, and just getting runouts. It was a whole bunch of things. I'm not just a shooter. We're all not just shooters or drivers or scorers. We can do it both ways. So I just feel like we take one thing away and we just capitalize on this together.
The first 10 minutes of the second half, you guys built up an 18-point lead. They had almost no field goals. What was working there, and then what stopped?
We just had energy. I feel like we had energy. We were running through passing lanes. We got stops, and we converted them. We had a little letdown, but we brought it back up, and I feel like that shows a testament to our team.
And then the first half, just a very cold shooting half for really both teams. What was going on there? Was that just a lack of energy?
It was just one of those days. I mean, you'll never see, I promise you'll never see Dex like not hit a three, you know. And some other shooters, I shot terrible. But I think overall, we shot terrible, but that we didn't live by the three, we didn't die by the three. We still won the game.
Royce, the team last year did have a number of close losses. Does it, even if it wasn't a great game, does it feel good to win a close one?
That game was really good for us, I feel. Last year we lost a lot of close games because of free throws just not being able to close, and I feel like a year later we were put in the same position and we handled it a lot better. So even though the game might have been a little nasty and not the best game to watch, it feels good for us to get a win like that because it just shows that we have matured from last year.
Royce, in these early season games, there's a lot more subbing, a lot more players play. Can it be kind of hard to find a rhythm when you're getting subbed out and subbed back in so often?
I don't think so. You just got to be ready when your name is called, when your number is called. So as long as you're ready, you won't ever get out of rhythm.
I just wanted to ask, how close are you to where you want to be physically? Like, are you 90%, or how far are you along to your recovery?
I'm doing well. My knee's getting a lot better. I'm just keep resting it and keep going to rehab, and soon I should be 100%.
Is that kind of in the back of your mind a little bit when you're out there of not trying to re-aggravate that injury?
Not really, but it hurts a little bit, but it's just something I have to fight through. So.
Ike, this is your first game of the year and first game in your collegiate career. How do you think you played, and how do you expect the rest of the season to go?
I feel that I started off slow, but once the second half came around, I feel that I got in the rhythm and that I ended up doing pretty good for my first game. But for the rest of the season, I feel that with this team that we should win a lot of games and just shock a lot of people.
What were the nerves like, just, your first time playing college basketball?
Yeah, I was nervous. Tay kept on asking me if I was nervous before the game in that shooting round. I told him I wasn't, but deep down inside I really was, just a little bit. But after I got in and just went a couple times up and down, I just kind of just chilled out and just played basketball.
Any more questions for this week?
DaVonte, well, actually, all three of you. You each had breakaway dunks off of turnovers. How would you assess how you guys played defensively in this game?
It's more like we said all season, we're playing in different styles. It's going to lead to runouts. It's going to lead to easy offense. And I think you guys seen a glimpse of it today. But I mean, we could be a lot better. We could be a lot better offensively, defensively, hit free throws. I mean, we could be a lot better all around.
No, I agree with DaVonte. It's just showed you a little bit of a glimpse of what we're able to do. We have an extremely athletic team this year, especially with our guards and our big men, and we're looking to get stops and push it. I mean, we weren't to where we wanted to be quite yet, but, you know, if we show glimpses of what we can do defensively.
Royce, you were in some foul trouble kind of late in the game, and then also just a lot of fouls called in general. Can you talk about the challenges of playing with some foul trouble? Are you less aggressive, or?
This year is something that's way different from how I've ever played basketball. They changed the rules a lot, so, I mean, you can't even touch a player. If you touch him, it's a foul, like, literally. So, it's just something you have to get used to. I mean, it's our first game, and we learned the hard way. I mean, I feel like everybody was in foul trouble pretty much, so it's just something we have to get used to. You maybe work on in practice, and that way we won't even have to deal with being in foul trouble.
So I've heard in the rule changes that a guy cutting to the basket, like you said, you can't touch him. So how do you not just give him a free ride as he's cutting, you know, towards the basket? How does that work?
That's the question right there. We got to figure it out. You know, we'll just go back to the lab, talk to the coaches, watch some film, and we'll figure it out.
Any more questions?